All right. Good morning. Uh, my name is Mark. I was contacted by Dr. Eric D. To provide you some talk on yoga for mental health and wellness. My name is Mark, and I'm currently the student housing director under OVCSA in UPLB. Um, I am currently, under the committee on, providing sports and wellness activities for, for the office of the Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs. And every Friday, we have this, wellness program for the staff of the office. And I think it's open to everyone who wants to join. So if you want, you can just ask how to. So going for this talk, this is specifically for the I think this is for the Philippine Guidance and Counseling Association Inc. Laguna chapter. So this is for your webinar series on I think mental health and wellness. So I can only talk a little on yoga because I think it's for me yoga is really meant to be experienced, not just to be heard or not just to be read. So it's really need to be experienced. So I really encourage you to find a teacher, and then just you know um let him or her guide you towards the practice. Again, it's meant to be experienced, so that's why I told you it's meant to be practiced, if not every day. So talk, we'll be able to go through some of those in the discussions. So let's start. Now, what is yoga? I'll try to talk with a mixture of Tagalog and English, so that it can be more more of a conversational type. Yoga means to yoke in Sanskrit, so it also means to combine. So you may ask me, what are we going to combine, or what are we going to mix? So as you can see here in the slides, we have the mind, body, and breath. So we combine those three. I would like to emphasize the importance of the third one, the breath, because without the breath, it's not yoga. So we can always have this discussion, what differentiates yoga from gymnastics, what differentiates yoga from acrobats, those doing some back bending in the circus, um, those doing in physically demanding stuff in calisthenics, or in ballet dance, for example. um, the differentiation factor for me is the breath. When you do yoga, when you practice yoga, especially the asanas, there is this presence of breath. So without it, it's not yoga. All right. So without the breath, it's not yoga. So we put an emphasis on the third element, which is the breath, because asana practice in particular is really a breathing exercise. It's just that you're in some weird or unusual poses or postures with your body, but the main element there is your breathing. All right, that's why if you can see, yoga is really meant for mental health and wellness, because when you are breathing properly, you can actually think better. And it's, the power of breath can really heal. All right. Later on, I will provide you some discussion, the purpose why we do yoga. But before that, I just would like to say that there is this 8 limbs of yoga. Baka kasi, some of you may think that, yoga is all about doing some, weird poses, um, back bending, forward folds, etc. So it's just in the third, as you can see there, there's the third one, the asana. So that's where we are, doing some weird poses, some physical exercises that, requires focus, not just, physical effort, but, you also need some mental effort, to focus, concentrate with what you're doing. So it's really about the mind, body, and breath. Now, I'd like to tell you about the 8 limbs, just a short discussion on those. Um, just to be clear, when you practice yoga as a whole, what you practice yoga, it doesn't necessarily need that you're doing asana, all right? Because there are 8 limbs there. Meron tayong 8, and pwede kang, you know, you're just doing 1 or 2, the yama, the niyama, or even the asana. Or some of you are just doing, 1, 2, and then 4, or number 7, pwede yun. But eventually, you will come to a point where all those 8 limbs are um, nangyayari sila at the same time. Okay? Hindi sila kailangan na separate. Na parang, okay, I'm doing yama. Number 2, I'm doing niyama. And then, later on, I'll do asana. Parang hindi. Hindi naman talaga necessarily ganon. It can, occur simultaneously. And actually, when you're doing number 3, the asana, and you are doing it for a very long time already, and you're able to master what you're doing, there will come a point in time na you're experiencing yung breathing control when you're doing the physical poses, and at the same time you are meditating. And syempre, with that, kasali na yung concentration doon. Alright, the dharana and the dhyana. And at the same time, after mo mag-practice ng asana, you just feel that, enlightenment. So, nandun na rin yung samadhi. Okay? So, I can tell you, it can really occur at the same time, yung 8 yan. Alright? It will just come. Hindi kailangan i-force natin na, okay, gagawin natin silang 8. Alright? Pwedeng isa-isa na lang muna. Okay? Again, wag nyo siyang i-force kasi maano lang kayo, ma-frustrate. Okay? Kasi once you put in some expectations, and then sometimes those expectations cannot be met, then yun yung route na parang you're not going to be satisfied, you'll become disappointed, you'll get depressed, sad. So yun yung nagko-cause sa atin ng mental illness. All right? Because we're putting in so much expectations. All right? So wag ganon. So just accept with what you have at the moment, and then just continue on improving, maybe put in a little bit more effort. So mapapansin nyo yon that, parang you're putting in investment to yourself, and then eventually, wow, lumalakas ka na, mas nagiging flexible ka na. Alright? So you're being healed actually. So ganun yung process ng yoga. So sa yama, it's really about the abstinence. Alright? It's really about what you should not do. Ang pinaka sikat dyan is there are 5 yamas. ang pinakasikat yan is yung non-violence. So dun pa lang, you don't put violent thoughts and actions to yourself. Kasi di ba, some people who have mental illness or, not really, maybe just sabihin natin depressed or feeling, meron silang anxiety or depression, whatever. They want to, put violence to their self, sa sarili nila. Kaya sometimes it leads to uh, suicide or whatever. So, hindi yon, okay? So, hindi, doon pa lang sa yama, you should think of it na violence is not part of yoga. So, punta tayo dun sa niyamas, yung observance. So, ito naman, we'll be able to, on the next slide, makikita nyo kung ano yung mga examples ng yama and niyamas. It's just more of a lifestyle. Okay, itong dalawa, yung yama and yama. If you are following these, maganda yung pakikitungo mo with, the relationship with yourself, with the relationship with your family and friends. Okay? So, the third one is asana. So, dito talaga yung very visual. Okay? Ito yung nakikita nyo sa Instagram. Later on, meron kayong makikita mga photos ko na, just to provide you an example of what I do or I previously do, kasi some of them I can no longer do it right now. Walang problema yun. There will just come a time, we are in this journey na, okay, meron tayong moment sa ating buhay na nagagawa yung mga poses na yun. And right now, there are some poses that we just don't do it. Hindi na natin ginagawa ulit. Okay? Kasi there are, we have, mga limitations na sa buhay. All right. So, and the next one is the pranayama, the breathing control. So you can actually do this on your own. There is, a knowledgeable teacher can teach you how to. All right. Maraming breathing techniques. And if you're able to master that one, it can really do a lot for you. Kasi the power of breath is actually, endless. Ang dami-daming pwedeng gawin ng magandang paghinga, right? Not just to your, own posture, not just to your own, thinking, but, it has a lot of applications na ginagamit, such as, for example, in sports, ang laki ng tulong ng breathing exercise sa pagiging magaling sa sports. So, mga athletes natin mostly they learn how to, do these breathing techniques and incorporate it with their, how they perform. Okay, dun sa kanilang sports events. Now, withdrawal of the senses, it's really about, mahirap ito explain, kasi I really wanted, to be very, just provide you some simple discussion. Anyway, there are a lot of discussion to be found in the internet regarding this one. So, I think it would be better kung manggagaling sa inyo yung understanding, not from me. Kasi ang hirap na ako yung magsabi about dito, okay? Sa pratyahara. And then the rana and the yana, actually, sometimes they come into, kasi syempre, if you want, to do meditation, parang prerequisite in concentration. So you can start by just providing, calming yourself down and then just concentrate with what you're doing. And then eventually, ma-realize na parang ang lakas ng moment, ng meditative state. Alright, you are already in that meditative state. Kasi you're able to block all the things that that surround you. So paminsan pag nagpa-practice ka ng asana, yung the third one, you're practicing asana, at your own home, na ikaw lang mag-isa, tapos paminsan maingay, yung family mo nandyan, alam mo yun, pero ikaw, go ka lang. Alam mo yun, sabihin mo sa family mo, okay, please do not disturb me. I just want, 1 hour for this practice. Let me practice my, asana. Please, ganon. So, kahit na maingay sila dyan, meron, alam mo yun, may kapitbahay ka na maingay din, tapos may mga sasakyan sa labas ng bahay mo. Alright, you are able to block the noises surrounding you, and then you're just moving along with your breath. You're doing your asana practice, you're doing your forward folds, you're doing your back bends, you're doing your leg behind the head, or you're doing your headstand. Wala kang pakialam sa ibang tao na nandyan sa paligid mo. You've attained, it means you've attained that, meditative state. Excuse me. And then lastly, the samadhi, the enlightenment. Now, what is the connection between yoga and mental health and wellness? So, as you can see here, we have self-awareness, mindfulness, and acceptance. So, ito yung mga nagagawa ng yoga for us. Kaya masasabi natin that, yoga can really contribute to, mental health and wellness. Number one is yung self-awareness, wherein, it makes you care for other people. So, yun yung pinagkaibahan ng mindfulness. Alright, so self-awareness. Kung makikita ninyo, that self-awareness is for actually for other people, while the mindfulness is for yourself. Alright? And then self-acceptance, yung nasabi ko kanina, you don't really have to put in so much acceptance. I mean, so much expectations. Kasi yun lang yung magiging cause ng magiging disappointment, depression. Kasi hindi mo na-meet yung mga naset mong expectations. Right? You just have to accept na meron akong ganito and I just want to be, be thankful. Parang ganun. Right? One more before I go to the next slide is gusto ko i-emphasize that you do yoga for yourself. Right? You do this for yourself, not for me, not for other people, not for your family, not for your kids. Right? You do this for yourself. Kasi pansin nyo ba na, we really need, we work because dapat may silbi tayo sa society or sa community. Kaya tayo nagtatrabaho, hindi tayo pwede maging bum na lang, tayo sa bahay, wala tayong ginagawa. Right? So, anyway, meron tayong ginagawa, meron tayong responsibilities sa society, sa community, right? Sa ating organization. And we do that, for the organization. We do that for the society. So, meron kang ginagawa assignments. For example, ikaw, as a student, you study hard because sometimes, this is, yun yung kailangan gawin. Right? So, kayo din, some parents, meron kayong kailangan gawin. Alright? Kasi, kailangan ko makapag-provide for my family. Okay, so kaya ako nagtatrabaho. So, you do this for them. You do those things for them. Alright? Pero, you do yoga for yourself. It's just for you. Okay? Always remember that. Kaya I just would like to add this one that when you practice asana, the third one, asana practice, or sabihin natin when you practice yoga, um, pinaka-ano lang kasi din yung asana is, for example, 1 hour ka lang na magpa-practice ka ng mga yoga poses, 1 hour or 2 hours, etc. You attend a class with a teacher, pwedeng gano'n. So maybe 1 hour to 1 hour and 30 or 2 hours. I really would like to recommend you to turn off or even just put your cell phone into silent mode, or just tell your friends or family that you're attending a yoga class at this time. Please do not disturb me. Para siguro hindi ka nila i-disturb. However, there will come a time that meron talagang may mga hindi alam na tao na okay, nag-yoga ka pala, so tumatawag sila or whatever for not really for emergency purposes, pero baka lang pwede mo silang i-set aside. So I really recommend na if you want to practice yoga, you provide yourself just maybe an hour or 30 minutes, and then just block everything or everyone off. Isipin nyo na this is for you, for yourself. Later na lang kayo, makakapaghintay kayo. Okay? You prioritize yourself in that moment. Okay? And it's actually one of the really best gift that you can give to yourself every day. That you are the one who is prioritized. You don't prioritize other people at that moment. Hindi tumatawag yung boss mo, pero okay, mas importante yung ginagawa ko ngayon. Magpa-practice muna ako, later on. Later on na yan. They can wait. Okay? So, yeah, I think hindi naman guguho ang mundo, okay? Kung maghihintay sila, right? So, ganun lagi ang ating iniisip. I think we should prioritize ourselves more. So again, I've mentioned earlier about the yamas and niyamas. So these are the 5 most popular yamas and niyamas. So I'll just enumerate it. Non-harming, non-violence. So again, nasabi ko na yung kanina, as much as possible, we don't want to harm ourselves, not to harm other people, and including yung mga animals. Okay, kaya paminsan nagkakaroon na rin tayo ng movement na we should care for animals as well. Kaya marami kayong makikita ng mga yogis na nagiging vegetarian or vegan or mga ganong bagay. But I just want to say that I am not a vegetarian. I'm not vegan. But it doesn't really mean that I'm I believe in gano'n. So depende lang kasi talaga kasi it's more of a lifestyle. So depende yan sa tao. Not everyone can transition towards that kind of lifestyle. I've tried for 8 months of being vegetarian and vegan. Anyway, there's a difference between the two. The vegan is more of a lifestyle. That's why most people that you encounter that are vegan don't patronize leather kasi gamit sila sa animals. So they're more of just cotton. Yun lang yung mga ginagamit nila. So hindi anything comes from animal, hindi nila tinatangkilik yan. Yun yung vegan lifestyle. Yung vegetarians just more on food, right? So yung vegetarians just vegetables, yung food na kinakain nila. Alright, so yung difference. So medyo hardcore na yung vegan pagdating sa animal use ng mga product. So moving on with the yamas, so yan yung truthfulness. As much as possible, we should be very honest. Okay? As much as possible, iwasan natin yung magsisinungaling tayo. Okay? And then third one is non-stealing. So yung sa non-stealing naman is we do not, get other people's property. So again, it will all boil down to your acceptance. You don't long for things that it's not para sa'yo, alright? So, I mean, it's not yours. Or, so, hindi mo siya property. So, huwag mong kukunin. So, kung hindi naman yun sa'yo, di, it's not, hindi mo, huwag mo kunin. So, ibigay mo doon sa taong yon. Kung sa kanya yon, eh, sa kanya. Right? So, right use of energy. So, right use of energy, you'll be able to identify, no, kailangan ko bang i-exert ng effort ito? Kung hindi naman, di wag na lang. Alright? So, sometimes we don't stress ourselves too much. And then non-greed, non-possession is, excuse me, we don't want to hoard, right? So, um, again, you just accept with what you have. Huwag niyo isipin na you should have more, right? There will come a time that you just uh, see things that, yung contentment na meron ka, kaya lalabas din sa niyamas. So parang somehow complementary itong yamas and niyamas. So dun sa niyamas, you have the cleanliness, contentment, discipline, enthusiasm. Yung discipline and enthusiasm, papasok na yan lalo na pag, kailangan mag-practice, kailangan merong gawin. That is yun yung nagkapag-motivate sa'yo na, okay, attend ako ng class nito or pa-practice ako mag-isa. Alright? Actually, yun ang pinaka-goal ko as a teacher, as a yoga teacher to my students. Pinaka-goal ko, sana yung mga estudyante ko, matuto sila na mag-practice mag-isa. Yung hindi nila kailangan na pumunta pa sa klase ko. Even though I know na it goes against, the business of yoga. Pero, I would really be very happy kung malaman ko na yung mga estudyante ko nagpa-practice mag-isa sa bahay. Yung kahit hindi na ako kailangan, alam mo yun. Kasi I think there will always, be new students. Walang problema doon. Hindi ko masyado iniisip yung mga may pagiging pwede bang pagkakitaan ng yoga, pagtuturo ng yoga. Yes, pwede pagkakitaan, pero hindi yun. Para for me personally, it's not the goal. Mas maganda pa rin that, I am able to share, this is just an extension, right, of my practice, my self-practice. Hindi ako magtuturo ng something that I don't know, all right, or I don't even do. So kung hindi ko yan ginagawa, I won't let you do that. Okay? So yun yung ka-assurance, yun yung assurance na pinoprovide ko sa iyo as a teacher that, I experience doing these by myself. And it's just an extension of, my experience. Itong tinuturo ko sa iyo. Alright. So ganun. And then study of self, surrender to a higher being. So hindi naman sinabi dyan na God or something. So it's up to you, depende again sa religion mo, kung sino yung pinapaniwalaan mo. Alright? Kasi meron din naman yung ibang other countries have their own religion. Meron Buddhism, Hinduism, meron Roman Catholics. So just to a higher being, you just surrender. Alright? So you surrender yourself to that higher being. So yung third one, the asanas, is, again, pag na-combine nyo ito, kahit itong tatlo lang, right? Yung itong number 1 and 2, yamas and niyamas, nagagawa nyo siya for your lifestyle. Ito yung na-observe nyo, ginagawa ninyo, just to be, a very good citizen, just to be a good family member, you can actually contribute a lot already by practicing yamas and niyamas. And ngayon, pag nilagyan mo kasi siya ng asana, asana practice. Doon na yun papasok. Alright? That's actually the start. That's the start of, of a really good transformation dun sa sarili mo. Right? So, meron kang gagawing mga poses. Yan, naka-enlist dyan. Forward folds, twist, inversions, backbends, core strength, hip openers, etc. Some of them, hindi siya talaga separated, Pero merong mga poses na um, highlighted yung sa forward folds. Highlighted yung pagiging twist niya. Highlighted yung pagiging inversion niya. Pero kung mapapansin mo, yung ibang mga poses dyan are actually a combination of so many aspects of the asana. Pwede kang forward fold, pero meron kang core strength, right? Actually, dyan sa mga asanas na yan, nandyan lagi yung core strength. Nilalagyan mo siya ng core strength. Kaya, even though you're doing a forward fold, you're actually activating your core. Kailangan yun. So, wag mong kakalimutan yung core doon. Kagaya lang din ng backbends. You're doing a backbends, but actually you're engaging the core, specifically the core back. Meron tayong tinatawag na sa likod, yung core back. Hindi lang sa harapan na, hindi lang yung sa abs na part, yung sa front. Hindi, meron din tayong tinatawag na core back. And sometimes yun yung na-activate when we do backbends. And again, another misconception siguro ng core strength is just doon lang banda sa abs na area. Hindi. Actually, kasama yung legs. So when we do some core strength poses, merong kasama dong legs strength. And so sometimes madami dyan talaga yung mga asana poses. It's an integration, right? Integration of so many things, right? So, yun ang kagandahan doon. Hindi pa pwedeng isolated, right? Kasi, difference yan sa gym or for example, sa workout, pwede ka mag-isolation, right? So, just do some upper body strength. If you want to, work on with your biceps, mag-bicep curls ka, mga ganun. So, sino yung napapaganda ng papatone ng mga katawan sa mga gym, gano'n. So, kung gusto mo ng leg workout, you can do your squats, etc. So, mga ganun. So, na-isolate nyo yung, body parts or yung muscle groups, mga ganun. Pero sa yoga, mostly talaga is integrated. Okay, hindi mo makikita masyado yung isolation ng mga muscle groups. It's really more of as a whole. Kagaya nung sabi natin kanina sa definition, it's really to combine or to yoke mind, body, and breath. So kahit na meron tayo dun sa body aspect, being physical, nandyan pa rin yung mind. Kasi those poses really require a lot of concentration, I'm telling you. Kaya you're in that weird posture, you're in that, unusual posture because it really tests, it can really test your mental capacity or capability. All right. Ano parang iisipin mo, ano pa tong ginagawa ko? Alright, so parang gano'n. Yeah, there are times that you'll be able to, reflect na para saan ba tong ginagawa ko? At bakit ko pa pinapahirapan ang sarili ko? Parang gano'n. Alright, because I'll be able to, discuss those things. So, ano ba yung, connection niya to overall health and wellness? This is overall health and wellness, not just sa mental aspect. Teka lang, balik. Okay, mental health. Okay. Ito yung tatlo, right? So, physical activity ng asanas is really for healing and detoxifying. Yun ang pinaka-important. We do forward folds, we do twist because we actually, want to heal ourselves. Baka isipin nyo, heal, hindi naman yan. Hindi naman yan gamot, di ba? Or, So, actually, meron tayong ginagawang poses na nakakapag trigger or siguro stimulate ng mga internal organs. And doon nakakapag parang nga, stimulate ng healing process. Kasi pag alam mo yung for example, intestines, marami tayong mga toxins dyan. Kasi syempre, meron tayong kinakain. Of course, meron tayong mga nakakain na hindi magaganda or maraming taas ng cholesterol and sugar, which you're not supposed to eat. Pero again, there are times that we eat some of those food. Now, in order for us, to somehow help the body, kasi meron naman kasi talagang natural way for the body to heal itself and to detoxify, right? Totoo yon, merong natural way the body. The body will heal itself. Pero actually, meron tayong pwedeng gawin. Yun ang point. Meron tayong pwedeng gawin na tulungan yung sarili natin. Okay? So kasi paminsan kasi sobrang dami na nating nakain. Alright? So sobrang na dami nating bad habits. Paminsan yung iba naninigarilyo pa. So alam mo yun, ang dami-dami ng mga toxins na nasa loob ng katawan. That sometimes yung sistema ng katawan natin hindi nakakayanan. Alright? Kasi ano na siya, over na. Parang burdened na masyado yung sistema. So, ang pwede natin gawin is tulungan. Tulungan natin yung sistema natin para mag-heal and mag-detoxify. So, yun yung purpose na ginagawa natin yung mga weird poses. Kasi, it's been studied, since ano pa talaga, so, tagal na talaga nito sa India. Na, alam mo yun, yun yung way for them to detoxify and heal. Na established na talaga siya, right? So, and then there are actually a lot of scientific papers that can prove kung bakit effective yung mga forward folds, yung mga twists, yung mga back bends, inversions, etc. Right? So, priority yung healing and detoxifying. Kasi there are some poses na hindi. Walang healing and detoxifying purposes. Yun yung parang ano na siya. Yun yung sinasabi natin na parang pang-circus. Yun na yung parang sa show. Alright. Kaya kung makikita mo sa mga Instagram, sa YouTube, or whatever, social media, pagandahan na ng mga poses, alright, na nasa yoga posture. And I'm telling you, I've been to that state. Meron akong moment in my life na, okay, let's do some, yoga poses, let's do some photos, and we put it in, in our social media, etc. Walang problema doon, right? We don't tell that it's wrong. Kasi number one, it's really meant to celebrate na yung feet, right, na meron silang ginagawang ganun. Okay, and it's really meant, to inspire people to do the same. So, merong poses na hindi healing and detoxifying, and there are poses na pang show off lang. Yes. Okay. Pero hindi ko na masyado ipo-point out kung ano yon. Pero deep inside me, alam ko kung ano yung mga poses na walang benefits at all. Pero yung mga ipo-provide ko later on are the ones that can really provide healing and detoxifying, energy giving. All right, energy giving meron. Merong mga poses that can really provide you energy. Okay. Kaya sometimes pagkatapos nyo mag-yoga, meron kayong feeling na parang buhay na buhay ka. Alright? Parang gising na gising ka. Kasi you're full of energy. Kaya, minsan, I really suggest na mag-yoga kayo or mag-practice kayo ng yoga in the morning. Kasi it can really provide you so much energy. Lalo na if you are doing the poses na energy giving. May mga certain poses that are energy giving. Alright? Kaya paggabi ka mag-yoga, merong times na hindi ka makakatulog. Totoo yun. Kasi sobrang taas ng energy mo dahil sa pag-yoga. Kasi meron talagang poses that are, it can really trigger the energy, centers there in your body. And then lastly, pinaka-important, physical activity or the asana practice is a balance of strength and flexibility. Baka isipin ninyo na puro lang to flexibility. No. Actually, kung ano yung nakikita ng mata, flexibility. Makikita nyo, wow, ang flexible. Na itataas yung paa, na ilalapit dito yung paa, or na ilalagay dito yung paa, yung leg, or, di ba? Parang ganon. Maiisip nyo kagad, wow, flexible. Pero, hindi nyo nakikita yung strength na meron doon. Because yung strength doon is sometimes implied, or parang alam mo yun, hindi nyo talaga siya, hindi siya tangible, yung strength aspect ng practice. Kasi nga, yung core strength pa lang, alright, hindi mo siya makikita kasi syempre, nasa loob siya ng tiyan or whatever. So, pero yung abs na makikita nyo sa mga lalaki or sa some few women na may abs, aesthetics na po yun. Alright? It doesn't necessarily mean na pag may abs sila, malakas ang core strength nila. Alright? So, yes, totoo yun. So, hindi lahat ng may abs malakas. Alright? Kasi, paminsan, lumabas lang yung muscle. Okay? Yung ab muscle nila lumabas kasi konti lang yung fat na meron sila. Kaya may lumabas na abs. Pero it doesn't necessarily mean na malakas yung kanilang core strength or mataas yung core strength. Okay? So yung core strength and flexibility niyan is supposed to be balanced all the time. Alright? Meron kang post na makikita that is parang wow. Wow talaga yung post. Pero ang mas maganda sana is ma-appreciate natin na yung taong yon exerted so much strength to do that pose effortlessly. Okay? So, I hope ma-realize niyo yun, ma-appreciate niyo yun, ma-understand niyo yun na yung strength and flexibility goes hand in hand when we practice yoga. Hindi pa pwedeng flexibility lang. Right, next is the breathing control or the breath control, the meditation and concentration. So ano yung napoprovide niyan? Siyempre, it provides us, being able to manage stress, and it promotes relaxation. Siyempre, when you're able to breathe properly, you're able to expand the lungs. When the lungs are expanded, mas maraming oxygen yung nakakapasok. So when mas madaming oxygen yung nakakapasok, mas nabubuhayan yung mga internal organs natin. Kaysa sa konti lang yung oxygen na pumapasok, 'di ba? Nagkaroon tayo ng COVID. As in like yung lungs natin, 'di ba? Yung lungs ng mga victims parang nare-restrict kasi dahil dun sa virus. And doon natin na-appreciate yung importance ng oxygen na makapasok dun sa loob ng lungs natin. Di ba? So kung nakakapasok ng maayos yung oxygen sa lungs natin, laking ginhawa. Hindi lang sa paghinga, pero alam mo yun yung sa pag-iisip natin. Kasi syempre, kailangan natin ng oxygen para mabuhay, alright? So, siyempre yung hangin, the air that we breathe, important na yun. Hindi natin kailangan oxygen tank, right? So, just the air that's available to us, we take it in, and we need to, maximize, the gift of nature. Okay? So again, it improves overall functionality. Hindi lang yun sa relaxation or sa stress. Kasi yun nga, um, when you're able to breathe properly, ang gaan-gaan ng katawan. I'm telling you, magaan. I'm a former swimmer. I also swim. Pero from time to time. Pero I realized na ang bigat-bigat mo sa tubig pag restricted ka, parang paggigil ka, pero hindi mo hininga, hindi ka huminga ng maayos, ganun. So, alam mo yun, parang, pero pag you're just, breathing in and out, ang gaan, ang bilis mo sa tubig. Alright? So, ganun talaga. Kaya, nasabi ko kanina that athletes are actually learning how to breathe properly. So, actually, maraming mga professional athletes ang enroll into some pranayama classes, breathing exercise classes, kasi ang laking tulong nun sa kanilang performance as an athlete. And then again, the yamas and the niyamas, it's really more of what you can do as a person, to you, and to other people by incorporating them into your lifestyle. Yung mga yamas and niyamas. It improves your relationship to you, your relationship and interaction with other people, right? Improve your outlook in life and state of being. Yun yung mga napoprovide, ng pagpa-practice natin ng yoga. Again, hindi lang kasi talaga ito about yung practice natin ng asana, ha? Kasama dyan yung yamas and niyamas. And then eventually, some of the other limbs ng yoga will follow, kagaya ng breathing control, meditation, concentration, and so. So ito na. Let's start na, right? Just to provide you, the basic asanas, all right, that you can do at home. Pero I actually encourage you, I highly encourage you to find yourself a teacher who is knowledgeable, who has experience. Right? Kasi sila talaga yung makaka-guide sa'yo. And ang laki din, marami kasing nuances na pwedeng i-provide sa inyo yung teacher na hindi nyo makukuha sa pag, looking into just YouTube or just videos available in social media or, photos, etc. Even though I'm not saying that they are not ineffective, I'm not saying na hindi sila effective. I'm saying na yes, pwede yon, pwede, walang problema. Just as long as, you you are knowledgeable enough on, how to take care of yourself kasi baka ma-injure ka or whatever, kasi ikaw lang mag-isa yung gumagawa nun. For me, I really encourage na face-to-face. Kaya nung nagkaroon ng pandemic, ang hirap. Kasi yoga is meant to be practiced with other people. Alright? Pero hindi ko sinasabi na pwede mo siyang, hindi mo siya dapat gawin mag-isa. Kasi ako, I practice alone. Alright? But sometimes, I also want to practice with other people. Alright? So you have, wala tayong sinasabi na, hindi mo to pwedeng gawin. Ito yung pwede mong gawin, gano'n. So hindi, wala yon. It's free. But mas maganda, for me, based on my experience, I really encourage you, lalo na sa mga bago, mas maganda na if you are new, you get a teacher. Right? And you practice it with other people. At that time lang naman kasi, when I was new, nung pinaka-first ko is I went straight to a yoga class. So it's a group class. Right? So doon na lang din nag-event, nag-evolve yung experience ko na, okay, sa tingin ko kaya ko na 'to mag-isa. Kasi yun nga, eventually mapupunta tayo sa journey natin na, puwede na natin 'to gawin mag-isa. Pero sometimes gugustuhin din natin yung community, yung yoga community, okay. We want to experience practicing asana with other people, gano'n. Oo, totoo yun. Kasi number one, iba din kasi yung energy na po-provide sa atin ng mga kasama natin. Iba yung energy na napo-provide sa'yo ng teacher, face-to-face, or kahit siguro Zoom, you know, iba yung energy na napo-provide niya kaysa sa wala. Alright? Meron yun. Meron yun. Just experience, meron parang external energy transmitted to you na nakakapag-add ng motivation for you to do more. Alright? Kasi paminsan, yung nasa utak mo sasabihin na, oh, hindi ko na to kaya, hindi ko to gagawin, ay hindi ko yan kaya, hindi ko yan kayang gawin. Parang it's not for me. Pero when you're there, tapos nakikita mo yung kasama mo, uh, lalo na pag sa yoga, you set up nyo sa yoga studio, may mga katabi ka, klase mo na, you're doing the yoga poses, masasabi mo sa sarili mo, ay, kaya ko pala. Kaya ko palang sumabay. Kahit na hindi perfect, pero natatagalan ko, nagagawa ko, and I am feeling it, it provides me, the right confidence, the motivation. Iba yung feeling na nararamdaman na may kasama sa pag-practice. Okay? So iba din naman yung experience pag ikaw lang mag-isa kasi more on reflection yung ginagawa mo pag ikaw lang mag-isa. Parang you're working on it, for yourself. Na parang, teka lang, may kailangan ko akong gawin na mas maayos. And hindi ko to gagawin with a group class. Kasi for example, pa-practice ko yung backbends ko ng, longer kasi I'm working on my backbends, for example, ganun. Kasi alam ko sa sarili ko na hindi ako magaling sa backbends. So, pa-practice ko 'to mag-isa. So, ganun yung nangyayari. Pero, just a usual practice, you do it with other people. Kasi, nandun yung motivation na parang, magugulat ka lang. You'll surprise yourself na, kaya ko pala yun. Parang ganun. Tapos yung teacher mo sasabihin, no, you can do it. You can do it. Tapos sasabihin mo na sa sarili mo, no, I cannot do it. Pero sasabihin ng teacher mo, you can do it. You can do it. Kaya mo yan. Kaya mo. Konti na lang. Ma-reach mo na yung toe. Or ganun. So, na-reach mo nga. Kasi nga, sometimes, yung mga hindi natin nagagawa, dahil yun lang yung iniisip natin. Iniisip natin na hindi natin kayang abutin yon. Alright? So, parang inisip na kaagad natin na, no, hindi. Pero pag nakita lalo na ng teacher, pag nakita ng experienced teacher na, sa tingin ko kaya mo to, parang ganun. Yeah. Makukuha mo yun. Kasi actually, for me as a teacher, meron akong ino-observe na estudyante. In-observe ko yung estudyante and makikita ko kung meron siyang potential to do some more advanced poses. Okay. Anyway, going back to this one. What does yoga practice do to our body and mind? Now, the yoga, which is actually more of a vinyasa system. A vinyasa system is, moving with breath. Okay, ito. Moving with breath. It's a Sanskrit word. So, you're moving and at the same time breathing. So, parang sabihin natin it's dance, parang sayaw, pero not that graceful enough, kasi meron kang ginagawang poses, right arm and then left arm, and then you just stay there. Okay, so even though you hold the pose maybe for 5 breaths or 10 breaths, and then you do another breath, and then another poses, yun yung pagko-connect ng mga ginagawa mo. Alright, from one pose to another, to another, to another, yung mga transitions nun, alright, from one pose to another, merong movement doon. And merong breath doon. So, yun yung vinyasa na tinatawag. Okay? So, yun yung vinyasa system. Actually, yun yung reason, I mean, yun yung nakakapagpalakas sa katawan. Alright? Yung vinyasa. Yung transition mo from one pose to another, yun ang nakapagpapalakas. And yun ang actually nakakapag-heal din at the same time. Alright? So, aside from the vinyasa or the transitions between poses to poses, we have poses itself na hino-hold. We hold poses maybe for a minimum of 5 breaths and a maximum of 10, for example, or it's up to you. If you want to hold the pose longer, it's up to you. So, itong mga poses na ito are grouped. So, in this slide, it's the yoga postures that involves forward folds or bend. So, nakatayo. Alright? Kasi meron din kasi tayong nakaupo. So, dun sa postures for the forward folds, either standing or seated, it's really meant to heal the digestive system. Okay? Yeah. It's really meant to heal the digestive system. So, kini-clean niya yung mga intestines natin or kung ano-ano pa man meron dyan. I'm not, wala akong idea sa anatomy, but yun. So, yung isipin niyo that when you fold forward, maiipit yung ating intestines and somehow mati-trigger niya, alright, mas-stimulate niya yung mga digestive organs. And that, when the digestive organs are actually squeezed, parang yung intestine mo parang towel, parang inipiga mo yung intestines. So nasi-squeeze out yung mga toxins. Okay, and then it will be just out. So malalabas natin yun. So later on. So yun yung reason bakit tayo gumagawa ng mga ganitong poses. Okay? So wag niyo masyado wag kayong magulat dito sa mga pictures, no? Kasi it took a lot of years, to be able to achieve that strength and flexibility. Again, I'm telling you, strength and flexibility. Pero baka ang inisip niyo dyan, wow, flexible. Yung ulo nasa baba. Okay, so hindi. Merong strength po dyan. Again, remember, strength and flexibility is always together pagdating sa yoga poses. Kailangan ng malakas na strength yan kasi hindi pa pwede na walang strength yan. Alright, kung flexible lang yan, yes, pwede. Pero yung core strength para lang mag-forward fold dyan, malakas kailangan ng core strength. Okay? So, you need to relax the back muscles dyan sa forward fold in order for you to go completely folded. Okay? So, meron tayong mga forward fold na hanggang dito lang. Kasi nga yung back, yung likod natin, tight. Okay. So, as you continue on practicing, ito yung legs. Ito yung so, sabihin natin, okay, hindi pa masyado mag-fold. Okay, hanggang dyan lang. Okay, walang problema yon. Okay? But again, you need to engage your core. Engage your core. Kasi pag hindi nyo in-engage yung core, tapos nag-fold kayo, yung back muscles nyo, magsasuffer. Sasakit yan. Kaya merong times na alam mo yun, meron tayong nararamdaman sa likod, May mga backaches tayo kasi mahina yung core natin. So, ibig sabihin yan, we need to strengthen the core more in order for the back, na hindi sila yung magsasuffer. So, the more you practice holding forward, na open din, na stretch na yung back muscles. Pag nasa-strengthen yung back muscles, it provides, an opportunity to stretch even more, na pag na-open siya, so okay na yung flexibility ng back muscles mo. Lagyan mo ng core strength, So, ibig sabihin, na-improve mo yung core strength, ang lakas na. Makakapag-fold ka ng maayos. Yun ang sikreto kung paano ka makakapag-fold. Kasi pag kulang sa core, tapos flexible ang likod, injury. Masakit siya sa likod. Totoo yun. Marami akong na-experience na hindi ko masyado na-engage yung core. Parang wala ako sa concentration at that time. Basta ginawa ko lang yung pose. Pag ganun, ouch, masakit. Naramdaman ko siya sa likod. Kasi hindi ko na-engage yung core. Alright? So, important yung concentration natin sa paggawa ng mga poses na to. Kasi, again, pag titingnan nyo, parang ang simple-simple lang niya. Pero pag gagawin nyo siya, hindi. Alam mo yun, you need to concentrate on how you enter. Right? Meron yung entry, hold, and exit. How you enter the pose, it should be correct with a proper breathing. It reaches on an exhale. And then you hold the pose. You breathe continuously for maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you exhale. And then you exit the pose. Important din yung proper exit of the pose. Alright? So may proper breathing din yon. And mostly pag galing dito, anyway, pag itataas mo kasi yung ulo mo dyan, syempre exit ka na, more on inhale yon. Pag tucking yung chin in, it's really more of an exhale. Alright? So, ganun yon. Yun yung tip na pwede kong sabihin na ano ba yung tamang breathing pagdating sa mga ganito. Pag tinaas niyo yung ulo nyo, it's really more of an inhale. Alright? Kaya pag sa mga back bends, taas ang chin, inhale yon, ang entry nun. Ngayon, ang entry breathing. Ang tuck ng chin yan, pag tuck ang chin, ibig sabihin nag-fold ka, exhale. Alright? So, yun ang entry breathing nun. So, yun ang proper entry breathing. Pero when you're there, alright, when you're in the pose, continue on breathing. Alright? So, yan yung mga poses that, pwede nyong gawin. Huwag nyo masyadong problemahin kung hindi nyo abot yung floor. Okay? Again, the teacher can actually provide you variations. Kaya yun ang kahalagahan na bakit maganda kung newbie kayo, meron kayong teacher. Kasi the teacher can provide you variations depending on your level. Kasi hindi pa pwedeng diretso lang yung ulo nyo dyan at sabihin ng teacher niya, basta ilagay mo lang yung ulo mo dyan sa baba. Hindi pa pwede yun. Kasi ako as a teacher, I know hindi to pwedeng dumiretso dyan ng ulo. Okay? Kasi ako din, hindi naman, when I started, hindi ko naman abot ang floor. Okay? Yes, totoo. Hindi ko abot ang floor when I started way back in 2011. Okay? So, hindi. So, it will just, adjust. Yung katawan ang mag-a-adjust mismo. And magugulat na lang kayo in time, eventually, wow, na-reach ko na pala yung floor. So, again, the benefits of yoga are actually tangible. And I can tell you that. Tangible yun. Hindi makikita nyo siya, mararamdaman nyo siya. You even, video yourself doing it, and then, you go back to your old videos na binivideo mo sarili mo, magugulat kayo na, uy, I started ganito pala. Pero tingnan mo na ngayon, kaya ko na itong gawin. Parang ganun. Alright? Tangible lahat ang benefits ng yoga, mostly. There are some intangible, yes, which, implied sa sarili mo. Pero mostly kasi talaga nararamdaman. So I think that's tangible. Yung health mo, yung pagiging magaan sa pakiramdam, those are tangible. So ito naman yung sa seated, kung ano yung ginagawa natin sa standing, babaliktarin mo lang siya, nakaupo, pwedeng gawin yon. Ang pinagkaibahan lang kasi dito sa seated, pwede natin i-incorporate yung mga different leg positions. Okay, so kung makikita mo yan dito sa second figure, yan, naka-open yung legs wide, knees pointing to the side, feet together. All right, so there's an external rotation of the hip joints. So, careful sa mga sa mga gumagawa nito kasi pwedeng masira ang tuhod or ma-injure. So, you don't go immediately sa mga kung ano-ano. Pero ang kagandahan kasi naman ng yoga is very mild yung approach natin. Hindi tayo yung may impact, alright? Kagaya ng gymnastics or any sports na may impact, kaya sila nai-injured. Kasi malakas at mabilisan yung yung paggawa ng pose. Dito sa yoga, you do it slowly, alright? You take your time to enter the pose. Alright? Yun ang difference natin to some other non-yoga physical activities. Alright? So, kung makikita natin dito, this is an external rotation of the hip joint. This is the Baddha Konasana pose, the second picture. And kung makikita mo dito sa second to the last, or yung fifth picture, this is an internal rotation of the hip joint. Kaibahan siya, baliktad siya dito sa external. Ito, external itong dalawa. External. Alright? Ito, external din ng konti, pero hindi masyado. Pero itong dalawa is heavily, very external ito. Extreme external rotation of the hip joint. Alright. Ito, internal naman po ito. Tiriya mo kay Kapada Paschimottanasana. And ito is, the seated version nung nakita natin kanina sa standing, previous slide. And ito namang, this is a half squat position and a half squat forward, basic. This is the basic forward fold, seated. The first posture is the basic seated forward fold. So, meron tayong half squat. This is actually working on your hip flexors. Okay? So, kasi maganda rin talaga na yung hip flexors natin, ma-open kasi kailangan natin it's really to open up the hips. Okay, so this is more, or actually itong last posture, yung last picture, this is a very deep hip opener pose, itong last, kasi it involves yung half squat position and a forward fold. And nilagyan lang natin na bind. So there's this shoulder flexibility aspect into that one, right? So again, the teacher can provide you the variations for this. So just approach the teacher. Meron man siyang papagawa na kagaya nito, marunong siya. So I cannot provide you in this video the easy options kasi ang pagpo-provide kasi ng easy options can really should depend doon sa estudyante kung ano yung kaya at hindi niya kayang gawin. So since hindi ko kayo po nakikita ngayon, ang pwede ko lang i-provide sa inyo is yung pose mismo. Ideally, these are the poses. Ideally. Pero it's just sabihin natin goal na, eventually you'll be able to achieve this level. These levels of, of doing the poses. Pero ang pinaka-important dyan is yung journey ninyo towards that. Alright? Huwag kayo maano na parang, ay, hindi ko naman kayang gawin yan. Siyempre po, again, hindi po talaga natin yan kayang abutin. Kasi sinasabi ko at start na, when I first started, hindi ko po talaga kaya abutin yung toes. It will just come through years of experience. Okay? Next. So, after the forward fold, meron din tayong tinatawag na twist. Doon po sa twist, ito po yung mas intense. Okay? Mas intense na pag-cleanse ng katawan, lalo na sa digestive system natin. Kasi ito talaga yung sobrang higpit talaga na meron tayo dyan sa tiyan. Kaya I know meron po tayong, I know ang problema meron tayong sabihin natin taba sa tiyan or something, paano natin yan mailalapit. Okay, yung leg na yan dito sa ating chest. Alright, for example, in this first two pictures, I'm telling you, mahirap yan gawin kung meron po tayong taba sa tiyan. Pero again, hindi po natin kailangan gawin itong pose na ito. Yung journey natin bago tayo makapunta sa mga ganitong poses, siguro po mawawala na po kaagad yung mga fats natin. Kasi meron tayong mga ginagawang other yoga poses that will eventually help us in shedding off yung mga fats sa katawan. Alright? Again, pero I I just would like to emphasize that there is a modification for these poses. Kung alam mo yun, kung meron man tayong malaking tiyan, wala pong problema. Hindi po natin kailangan mag-bind. Pwede po natin hawakan na lang po yung leg and then we twist. Okay? Ganun. So, again, the teacher will be able to provide you the variations, the modifications, if in case na hindi natin magawa yung mga bind, hindi natin magawa ma-touch yung floor, hindi natin ma-reach yung paa, hindi natin ma-reach yung other leg, whatever. Okay? Meron po yung variation. Pero again, I'm saying that pinoprovide ko itong mga poses na ito kasi itong mga poses na to, ito yung parang somehow ideal or somehow yung goal in a way na siguro eventually pag sobrang um, na-master nyo na yung pagpa-practice ng sun salutation for example and then the standing poses, yung mga basic foundations, again, ayun, I would like to emphasize, may mga basic yoga asanas tayo na the teacher will tell you to do. Alright? Bago kayo makakarating sa mga ganitong poses. Alright? So, wag kayong malungkot na baka ay hindi ko kayang gawin. Yes po, hindi po talaga natin kayang gawin sa ngayon. Pero I'm telling you, eventually magagawa niyo po 'yan. Maging patient lang po talaga kayo. Kasi ang yoga po hindi hindi siya ano, hindi hindi siya hindi siya pang temporary na parang okay magyo-yoga ako siguro for just 2 years or 1 year, 1 month. As much as possible talaga continuously. It should become a lifestyle na parang ginagawa mo siya, parang nagiging routine mo na siya, right? Part na siya ng ritual mo siguro when you wake up, you do your practice, or maybe before you go home, you go to your yoga class muna, or mga ganong bagay, or maybe whatever your free time is, kung ano man yung available na yoga class, you go. Alam mo yung mga ganong bagay. It's supposed to be a lifestyle. Hindi siya yung parang gagawin mo lang kagaya ng okay, may hangganan. Hindi yun. Okay? So, I just would like to emphasize itong middle photo. It's an open twist. So, ito yung pinagkaibahan ng ibang photos, ibang pictures, ibang postures. Kasi, I think this middle and itong last. Pero itong middle kasi talaga, it's really the open twist. So, open siya. Kasi, yung iba kasi closed. Oops, sorry. So, parang dahil closed sila, it's really meant to intensely, detoxify the intestines, cleanse your internal organs, whatever. Ngayon, yung gusto ko sabihin na pag pumasok yung hininga mo, tapos, for example, ito na naka-ano ka dito, gumagawa ka nitong posture na ito, it's very tight. Actually, pag ginawa mo yan, tapos nakabind ka, merong moment na parang hindi ka makahinga na masyado. Totoo yon. Merong moments dyan na parang hindi ka makahinga na maayos. Kagaya dito, itong second to the last, hirap ako dyan. Actually, mahirap to. It's very deep twist. Kasi parang hindi ako makahinga na parang sikip talaga. Ngayon, yung pumasok na oxygen or yung air, nung humihinga ka, mabilis yon. Sobrang bilis ng kasi paminsan sa sobrang, alam mo yung ganun type na hindi ko makahinga. Ganun yung style ng paghinga mo dyan eh. So sobrang bilis niya pumasok ng oxygen, mabobombard ng oxygen yung mga internal organs mo, mabilis. Yun yung magka-cleanse makakatanggal ng toxins. Yun ang ganun nag-work yung twist. Yan yung reason bakit tayo gumagawa nitong mga weird poses. Kasi for the purpose of, cleansing. And makikleanse lang yung katawan natin kung naibobombard natin ng malakas and very fast na pressure ng hangin. Okay? Kasi kung nakatayo lang tayo, neutral, siguro, kunwari ako, nakaupo lang ako dito na normal, tapos normal lang na dumadaloy sa akin yung oxygen, dahil humihinga ako, mild lang yung or very slow lang din yung pagpasok sa akin, yung pag-circulate ng oxygen sa aking mga internal organs. Hindi siya masyado nakakapaglinis. Okay? Hindi. Kasi hindi masyado nare-reach yung mga, kung ano mga alam mo yung mga, siguro mga eskinita, kung may eskinita man dyan sa loob natin. Alright, kasi 'di ba syempre mayroon tayong mga main highway, kunwari highway itong na esophagus natin, tapos may mga kung ano-ano pa mang mga highway dyan. Right? May EDSA dyan, may C5 dito, gano'n. Tapos may mga eskinita tayo dyan na mga maliliit na lang. Ngayon, kailangan kasi natin ng mas malakas yun na pagpasok ng hangin. Alright? Para as in tayo pasok siya dun sa mga mga maliliit na mga veins dyan or kung ano, nerves or whatever na kailangan ma-reach ng oxygen. Alright? Just to cleanse kung meron naman diyang tanggalin. Alright? Kaya tayo gumagawa ng mga ganitong poses na weird kasi yun, parang alam mo yun, normal na ganun yung ating breathing, parang so through the nose, hindi pa tayo hinga sa mouth when we're doing yoga. Hindi ko pala nasabi yun. When we practice yoga, we always breathe through the nose. Okay. So, next. So, yung forward folds and twist are for the digestive system. Ito namang pong back bends, yung kabaliktaran ng forward fold, is for the nervous system and the respiratory system. Okay? So, bakit kaya nervous? doon muna tayo sa nervous system. Mamaya na tayo doon sa respiratory system. Kasi somehow, yung sa respiratory system, parang, anyway, later. Sa nervous system kasi, um, kailangan din natin yan i-cleanse. Kasi marami tayong emotions na meron tayo sa ating katawan. Kaya sometimes those emotions can go up to the brain, and then sometimes dami natin maiisip, mas-stress tayo, tapos nandiyan na tayo, meron point in time na parang ano na gusto natin isipin sa ating sarili, mga ganung bagay. So itong mga backbends, mahalaga po yung backbends. Kahit na hindi nyo po gawin itong mga nilagay kong mga poses, ha? Pero ito pong last pose, I really suggest na i-practice nyo po ito. Kahit hindi nyo po itaas yung leg, okay, kahit hindi nyo po itaas yung leg, okay lang po yun. Kahit baba lang, walang problema. So yun yung po modification na sinasabi ko. Or itong second to the last pose, kahit hindi nyo po itaas itong leg or yung paa papunta sa ulo, okay lang po. Hindi nyo po kailangan itaas yung paa dyan papunta sa ulo. Pero you just provide an upward facing, this is an upward facing dog variation. So when you just open up the chest there, all right, you really opening up the heart. So not just the chest muscles, but actually the heart. So itong mga backbend poses, ito yung tinatawag natin na cardio of yoga. So pag meron kasing sa Ashtanga practice, meron tayong tinatawag na backbending portion. So pag gumagawa ka ng backbend sa Ashtanga, mostly ito lang ginagawa natin. Itong nasa gitna. Okay? This is the basic one. So kahit na hindi nyo pa kayang, ma-straighten yung arms, kahit hindi nyo po masyado ma-straighten yung arms pagdating sa ganito, okay lang po yun. Dadating po tayo dyan. And again, meron pong teacher na pwedeng tumulong sa inyo, right, to do the modifications or the variations. Or meron po siyang ituturo sa inyo na completely different pose. Alright? Kung hindi man talaga kaya itong pose na ito. Wala po problema yan. Ngayon, going back dun sa pagiging cardio ng backbend. Ano po siya, mafe-feel nyo pag nag-backbends po kayo, para kayong hinihingal. Yung heart nyo sobrang bilis talaga. Ganun po yung mararamdaman nyo. Kasi nga po talaga, inaano siya, parang namamassage po yung heart niyo po, tapos na-enlarge po yung ating liver and lungs. Kaya nga po, po sa respiratory system. Lumalaki po talaga yung capacity ng lungs natin to get, oxygen. Alright? So, po talaga, na-enhance yung nervous and respiratory system natin. Teka lang, baka matanong ninyo, bakit nervous? Nasaan po yung nerves? Kasi po, dun sa spine po natin yon. Pag gumagawa po kasi tayo ng backbends, it's not just about the chest, but it also the spine. Doon po sa spine natin, nadami po tayong nerve channels po na ayoko maging ayoko maging sound, ayoko magpaka-expert pagdating sa anatomy, pero ang alam ko lang po talaga is marami po tayong mararamdaman diyan. Alright? So pinoprotektahan po natin yung ating spinal cord with our spine, okay? So as much as possible, pag na-elongate po natin yung ating spine, marami pong natitrigger na mga nerves. Kaya ang backbends po ay ginagawa natin to cleanse the nervous system. Meron po tayong times na magiging very emotional, very galit, angry, lalo na pag gumagawa ka ng deep back bends, yung sobrang lalim na back bends. Hindi ko na, actually ito, malalim po ito. Itong third to the last pose, picture, malalim po yan. Do not try that. Okay? Wag i-try yan at home kung hindi po kayo, kung beginner po kayo. Okay, so it will really send out so many emotions. Alam niyo po yun na parang pag gumagawa po kayo ng backbend, parang lagi po kayo merong iniisip na ano, parang bakit meron akong nararamdaman ganito, meron akong nararamdaman ganun, marami akong, alam mo, ang dami-daming thoughts na papasok po sa inyong utak na parang paminsan sasabog na, or alam mo yung parang ganun po siya. Ganun po yung backbends. Kaya kahit ako po, hanggang ngayon, hirap ako sa backbends. And I'm still trying, to find a way how to make it, comfortable. Pero sa tingin ko po, hindi po talaga yung pagiging comfortable ang ating end goal. Hindi po natin nanaisin na maging comfortable na tayo sa ating ginagawa lagi sa yoga. Kasi pag na-reach po natin yung pagiging comfortable natin doon sa yoga pose, ibig sabihin po, kailangan na po natin i-level up. Meron po tayong kailangan gawing mas mahirap. Alright? Ibig sabihin, yung effort mo in doing that pose, kulang kasi nagiging ano na siya, comfortable na sa sayo. Parang alam niyo po ba yun, yung parang meron kayong ginagawa tapos parang hindi na kayo pinapawisan. Kasi parang wala na siya for you. Hindi po dapat mangyari yung ganung moment. Okay? We should always level up yung ano natin, yung practice natin. Okay? So, dito sa sa backbench, parang hindi ko pa po yun nakikita. Wala pa po ako dun sa level na yun na parang comfortable siya. Okay? Pero thankful ako kasi alam mo yun, parang hindi ko na naiisip sa age kong ito na magiging ano pa ako, contortionist. Okay? Wala na sa plano ko maging ganon na level. Okay? So accepted ko na po na kahit basic backbends lang, gusto ko lang magawa. Yung basic, okay na po yun. Kasi I'm telling you, kahit po yung mga basic yoga poses such as ito, actually this is a very basic backbending pose. Pwede nyo pong gawin to. Pwede pong one leg bent para lang, just to support you kasi somehow medyo masakit din po ito sa legs. Hindi po ito malalim na backbend pero medyo medyo may ano din po to, challenge. Alright? Ito rin po, even though this is not a really deep backbend, it takes a lot of strength sa back. Yung tinatawag nating core back and legs. Alright? So, yung iba po dyan really requires the flexibility of the spine to bend backwards. Okay, so always remember that in a back bend, we extend the spine. All right, we extend the spine, not from the lower back, but if possible, dito sa middle back, and then sa upper back. All right, pero again, there are people who can really be very be flexible sa lower back. Pero again, be cautious, okay, na wag sa lower back mag-bend. Okay, so try natin na doon tayo sa, extending the spine, upwards. Okay? And then, nasabi ko din yung core strength. Okay, so ito pong nabasa na, the first one, this is actually a basic pose. Kung hindi nyo po kayang itaas ang legs ng ganyan or straighten, wala pong problema. You can just bend the knees, bring the knees a little bit closer to you, and the most important part of that is you are balancing on your sit bones. When you're able to balance on the sit bones, your core strength is working. Okay, you're working on your core strength, I mean. Right, so you just try to hold that pose a little bit longer, all right, so that you'll be able to so that your core muscles will be able to adapt. All right, now itong standing leg balancing poses, important din po ito na i-practice din po natin once in a while, or within or part siya ng practice natin na meron po talaga tayong leg balancing pose. Kasi sometimes it provides us the sense of balance, right? Na kasi kailangan po natin matest yung ating yung hearing abilities natin. Alright? Kasi hindi lang po ito sa lakas ng legs mo or hindi sa lakas lang ng core mo, pero yung sense of hearing natin also plays a role. Alright? So, dun sa balance mo mismo with just one leg, alright? Hanapin mo yung syempre activated yung sense of hearing mo, and then yung sight. So, ang tip ko sa mga nagle-leg balance is you just look at one single object that is not moving. Siguro meron kang nakikitang object dyan na hindi gumagalaw, yun lang yung tingnan mo. So, so you focus on that thing, you concentrate on that thing, and you just, balance, activate all muscle groups. Iba yung activate or engage sa panggigigil. Hindi ko sinabi na manggigil yung gigilan mo yan or manggigil ka or something. Hindi po yun yung tinatawag nating activate, or hindi po yun yung sinasabi nating engage. When we engage, just make sure that those muscles are the ones really working, okay? Pero wag manggigil. You just have to breathe normally while in that pose. Again, sa lahat ng mga poses na ito, matetest talaga yung inyong ability to breathe properly. Marami diyang poses, lalo na sa twist and folds, na parang hindi ka talaga makahinga. Lalo na back bends. Merong times na hindi ka talaga makahinga kasi syempre, yung chest muscles mo tight. So, hindi talaga maka-stretch ng maayos. So, compressed yung chest. Alright? Hindi ka makahinga. Pero eventually, by doing it regularly, ulit-ulit lang, nasa-stretch yung mga muscles natin, yung twist natin, naayos na rin natin, nakukuha na natin yung technique on how to breathe in that difficult situation. Alright? So, kung makikita ninyo, yung yoga practice ninyo sa mat is actually just a reflection of your life outside the mat. Tandaan nyo yan. Yung mga nangyayari sa inyo dyan sa pag-practice nyo ng asana, ng mga yoga poses, they reflect yung totoong buhay natin. Kasi tingnan nyo yung mga yung mga asana postures ninyo na ginagawa. For example, yung back bend, yung twist na hindi nyo kayang, alam mo yun, hindi ko mabind, whatever, ganun. So, mga challenges yun na nangyayari sa ating buhay. Alam mo yun, you just need to be patient, just be persevering, na eventually, magiging okay to, na magiging, alam mo yun, you invest on getting stronger. Magiging malakas din ako, magiging flexible din ako eventually. Just naghihintay lang ako, nagiging patient lang ako, ginagawa ko lang to, disiplinado ako na ginagawa ko siya regularly. Alright? And eventually makikita nyo yan na, uy, okay pala itong aking ginawa. Yung mga, for example, yung work ninyo sa office, it will pay off. Marirewardan din kayo in the end dun sa mga outputs na ginagawa niyo. For example, meron kayong sinusulat, pinagtsatsagaan nyo. Diba? So, kagaya lang din siya ng yoga. Meron kayong ginagawa, pinapractice nyo siya, pinagtsatsagaan ninyo na na maayos nyo ito. For example, itong leg balancing pose na ito na hindi ko talaga hold more than 2 breaths. For example, itong one leg lang or itong nasa second or third picture. Alright? So, depende po yun. Depende po yun sa inyong effort mismo. Again, wag nyo i-compare yung sarili nyo with other people's practice. Kasi magkakaiba po kayo ng journey. Alright? Other people's journey is different from yours. Baka po sa kanya, medyo nandun na po siya banda sa may um, nandun na po siya banda sa mga, alam mo, malayo na po siya sa kanya. Pinaroroong, papupuntahan, alright, sa kanyang destination. Siguro halfway there na siya siguro, whatever. Or baka nag-start siya matagal na, di ba? So, kung ikaw ngayon ka pala magsa-start ng journey mo, yung journey mo is not comparable with other people's journey. Always remember that. So, doon na po tayo nagtatapos. If ever po na may katanungan po kayo, I am very willing to, share, maybe, kung i-invite ako for a live, question and answer, mas maganda po kasi talaga yun, lalo na pag meron po kayong mga katanungan and then I can really, provide you a direct answer. So I hope this webinar or this video helps, and I hope this encourages you to seek out a teacher and try practicing, yoga. Hindi naman po kailangan talaga, again, asana, meron po tayong other limbs of yoga. So, thank you very much for listening and watching. Namaste.